Hey folks, how are you doing? I would like to hear from you what you think about the materials I've posted so far, especially at the syllabus. And I have not heard from everybody about the syllabus, the comments on syllabus. And then, this is the fourth week already, and I have posted materials for you, and I'm making a slow start for you so that you can settle with the syllabus and understand the spirit of the course. But we are now going to be heading into the major project very soon. Actually, I should have started this week, but I'm looking at the response from you in the small activities I posted. You have the discussion board there, and then you have some quizzes there. I mean, actually, I posted quiz 2 just now for you for this Friday, due by this Friday. So please respond to me, get back to me, message me, talk to me. We already had a Zoom meeting with some of you, but not everybody attended. I wished I could get to see you all. At least hear from you, because this is asynchronous class. It does not require you to be face to face or even to attend Zoom meeting, which is very optional, very much optional. But I must hear back from you all, and we need to be in touch with each other. I need to be in touch with you. So I'm trying to access you. Please get back to me and message me. Let me know how things are going. Anyway, so I'm starting from the last week. Last week was the third week. I posted some materials for you for the third week. So far, the materials I posted for you in these 3 to 4 weeks are more based on concept only, understanding the concept of research, knowing exactly what we are supposed to do in the graduate level, and what graduate level writing is, and then the genre as such, the graduate level writing genre is, and how we can adapt it to the genre, and then learn to write in that sense. So let's read the materials, and let's interact. The discussion board is where we can interact. So please respond to the few questions I have put for you. They're very easy. They're all from the materials I posted, right? And there is no wrong answer. If you have any such answer that is totally wrong, I will give you my feedback, right? So please, let's stay in touch. This is your module 4. In this module, we'll try to understand the research genre for graduate students and also for faculty, because graduate students are so close to faculty. And we'll try to find the appropriate topic, because you have the project for the semester. So it's the right time to start working on a project. And a topic would be something of your interest in your area, because graduate writing is discipline specific. Let's understand that. And then also we have to understand the process and the structure of research. So these are the learning objectives of this week. Last week we worked on our Module 3. The contents of our Module 3 were graduate writing overview. Writing is a social endeavor. Writing is discipline specific. And then we also covered the disciplines and documentation styles for you to get you prepared for writing, graduate writing. So we read how writing is a conversation, writing is a process, writing is a social endeavor, and how writing is discipline specific in the graduate level. Because in the graduate level, you specialize in one or the other areas of knowledge, and you would have to be in the frontier of knowledge. So we explore issues in the frontier of knowledge in a discipline, in a particular discipline, which is different from the issues that we deal with in the undergraduate level. Writing is a social endeavor, we must understand, because no writing can happen without a social context. We live in a society and we bring up the issues of the society in order to help the society, in order to represent the society, in order to understand the society. So it also means that people in the society directly or indirectly participate in the writing activity with the writer. And there are three ways they can participate. They can provide document support, they can provide knowledge and skill support, or they can support socially, emotionally as well. This handout also includes a video, small video. Please watch the video. That'll give you more information about how writing is a social endeavor. You can also look at this social endeavor as a rhetorical situation, because writing, a very important component of writing is the rhetorical situation, which means the author, the audience, and the time and the setting determining the meaning of the writing, or changing the meaning of writing, or changing the writing itself, depending on where you are and who you are with. I have already said earlier about the importance of how writing in the graduate level is discipline specific. It's the characteristics of the writing in the graduate level. There are so many disciplines within disciplines, and the branches are increasing. So in the graduate level, we go for a particular and very specific piece of information. And for that, we need to specialize, and we need to identify the problem and specialize in a particular branch, and then write it for a certain number of readers or the reading community. The reading community would be scholars, graduate students, and other people who have knowledge in that particular discipline. So in the graduate level, unlike in the undergraduate level, is very discipline specific. It is pertaining to one particular discipline, such as within medicine there are so many branches, within engineering there are so many branches, and more branches are opening up every single day. So and depending on those branches, we specialize, and then we try to understand the frontier of knowledge and try to find something new or add a new dimension in that knowledge. And that's what the writing is in the graduate level. Last week, I also uploaded a very useful handout for you. You can find a similar kind of handout in OWL at Purdue as well. This handout lists the different documentation styles depending on disciplines. The MLA is one of the most popular ones in our English department. The latest version of MLA is the 9th version that came out in 2021. The APA is probably the one that you might be using, because I see that most of you are business majors. So this documentation style is usually, most frequently used by psychology, anthropology, education, applied linguistics, and business administration as well. You might want to check with a professor what documentation style they would want for a submission of assignments. For this assignment, I would recommend you that you choose the American Psychological Association, which is APA. This may involve the primary methods, primary sources, or field work,
or when you collect data of your own. Any questions about the APA, please ask me. I also uploaded here in the documentation, writing and documentation help folder, the different websites that might help you in formatting your work in the APA style. The latest version of APA came out in 2019, the 7th edition. That's the one that you might want to use. I've also listed other documentation styles which you are not required to learn how to use them. But here's a list depending on disciplines. For example, history, religion, in political science, they use the Chicago Manual, or also called Turabian. In sociology, sociology department uses American Sociological Association. I believe the political science also sometimes uses the MLA. For sciences such as biology, medicine, chemistry, they have their own documentation styles. So we don't have to learn them all, but at least keeping the information that different styles exist will be helpful to you as graduate students. There is this handout, the link for preparing for graduate writing. Please go over this handout that lists the different steps that you will go through while composing in the graduate level, writing in the graduate level. Research papers, or research projects. You would say in the academic level, we have research projects. Also in the professional, which is what I believe, in the business administration, you would have to be. The different steps you follow, very similar to the academic projects, where you will start with a topic. And you start with understanding the graduate writing expectations, and then you start reading scholarly journal articles, list of articles that you would have in a particular journal, and the more recent, the better it is, because recent articles have recent developments in that particular field, and then you would have to integrate the research. So you make a list of what you understand from there, and then you integrate the different sources in order to answer the research question they have in a project. Then a very important part is how you synthesize your research, how you understand the different information that you get from the sources, and then how you interpret them and make meaning of them, synthesis. Make sure you avoid overcoating, because overcoating is not always good. You want to limit yourself to how much you're supposed to quote, how many sources you're supposed to write from, because you have to have your own voice, you have to have your own conclusion, you have to have your own discussions based on the sources you have cited. You need to learn also how to incorporate images, figures, appendices, which the APA uses a lot. So make yourself familiar with this. There are links that will take you to the information. Study them. What you're doing is you're preparing to write your project, and these are helpful materials for you. So these were the materials as I posted for you last week, and I also posted you the discussion. I posted you a discussion 1, and then the quiz. We already did quiz 1, which was on plagiarism, and you have a quiz 2, which draws questions from the module 3, and then also from module 4, which is this week's. I believe you've gone over the materials in module 4, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me give you an overview of module 4 here.
This week is your module 4, and we'll try to go and understand the steps in research process. Just like in writing process, there are certain steps for writing and conducting research. You are a writer and you are a researcher. You have two roles, you have double roles. As a writer, you take down notes and you write down and you organize and you draft and you revise and you finish it, edit and finish. The same way, as a researcher, you have to conduct the research. Actually, what you do as a writer comes later than research. First, you are a researcher. As a researcher, you need the topic and you need to narrow it down and you need to find the sources. Sources and topics, they are together. Topics decide the sources and the availability of sources decide the topics. So, after you narrow down the topics, you go out and find out where you can find the answer to the questions. You have research questions. You have to come up with research questions. That's how you begin research. And you have to find the correct methodology, apply the methodology, decide whether you want the primary sources or the secondary sources, or how many primary sources or how many secondary sources. And then you will conduct the research, apply the methods, and you come up with a conclusion from the findings. So this is how the research is conducted. So we will go over this, the process of research, to understand and we plan our research. You have links here for you to read about the common genres for graduate students and faculty. And you'll also read the research writing genre and research project, where to begin, which will give you a step-by-step process of beginning and then coming to a conclusion, starting from the beginning and coming to a conclusion and editing and submitting a research paper. When you are in the graduate school, you are already in the academic community or the community of the particular discipline that you are specializing. So you would want to pick the kind of genre that the discipline recommends or the community understands. It's very much discipline specific that we already said before. You will interact with the people, with the specialists or the academics in your disciplinary community and understand the language used in that community. Also, you will read journals and research papers and research projects which will guide you into conducting a research. You will have already developed the genre that your community understands or you need to set up for your research. This will include words, vocabularies, syntax, and the tone that will identify, that will mean that particular genre in the community, in the academic community. Please read this handout. This was posted by University of Massachusetts Writing Program. Very informative and useful for you. Please remember, keep in mind that one of the main differences between graduate writing and undergraduate writing is that the former is done to further knowledge in the field which will contribute to the field of study, whereas the latter, which is the undergraduate writing, is done to show that understanding or learning has taken place as assessment. The goal of graduate writing is to conduct research in a particular discipline. A research paper is not simply an informed summary of a topic by means of primary and secondary sources. It's not just like a report or a book report or an opinion piece consisting solely of one's interpretation of a text or an overview of a particular topic. A research paper explores the frontier of knowledge in a particular discipline and comes out with a finding, a substantial finding, to add knowledge in that field. You need to understand the difference between primary and secondary sources, which are the heart of a research paper. They provide its nourishment. Without the support of an interaction with these sources, the research paper would not be complete. Read this handout that talks about what research is and what research is not. It's very important for you to know when research begins and when research ends, and how research is different, or a research paper is different from a non-research paper. This handout also talks about two types of research papers: an argumentative research paper and an analytical research paper. An argumentative research paper intends to prove or disprove an idea, whereas an analytical research paper presents a critical interpretation of sources being discussed. The most important part of a research paper is always the research question or research questions. The methodology, the process, the interpretation, and the conclusions all revolve around the research question. You begin with the research question, and your job as a researcher is to find the answer to the research question or the research questions. So a research begins from the point you do not know about something. That's why you need to research. You need to go and find out, because you don't know the answer to the question that you have in mind in a particular discipline. And you will inform the research community or the academic community or the community in your discipline the finding that you have gotten after you've conducted the research and proven a point. Please click the link in your module 4 and read the one that says research, where to begin. This will give you the step-by-step process of conducting research, starting from choosing and narrowing a research topic, which is the most important thing, and writing a research question, which is what the whole research revolves around, and knowing what types of sources you need, and asking productive questions. You need to make sure that your research topic is not too broad, because broad topics do not investigate, or they do not go deep into the frontier of knowledge. They do not reach the frontier of knowledge. They are just common sense or common knowledge. And common knowledge is not research. You will need to read available sources in that particular discipline when you have a topic. And then you will have to keep changing. You may have to keep changing a topic depending on what is available out there. If nothing is available, we can't conduct any research. If few materials are available, then you may have to come up with your own methodology and conduct your own research for primary sources. To come up with primary sources, and depending on primary sources, you will have your conclusions. So a research topic may change depending on the availability of sources. And you will narrow it down depending on the availability of sources. And at the end of the research paper, you need to cite the sources, your primary sources that you came up with, and the secondary sources that you are borrowing from other people's research, other researchers' research works. But don't think that the more sources you have, the more reliable the research will be. It's not the number of sources that make a research reliable. It's the quality of sources that will make your research reliable. Actually, too many sources or overcrowded sources will make your voice and your analysis and discussion part subordinate. Like I said earlier, your research question is the most important part of a research paper. That is when you begin a research. You have to have a clear research question. And that research question may change depending on the availability of sources. So it could be one research question, or it could be many research questions tied to the main research question. You have to have a curiosity to know more about a particular issue. We should be at the frontier of knowledge in that particular discipline. And now you go and find out sources. It could be primary sources, secondary sources. Secondary sources are the sources that are printed, published by other researchers in that area. And if those sources are not enough for you, or those sources do not connect to your research question, then you may have to conduct your own research. And what you find from your own research would be your primary sources. And regarding your own research, you will apply one or the other methodologies, or may apply more than one methodology at the same time. Methodologies such as interview, case study, survey, questionnaires, observation, content analysis, autoethnography. These are the popular research methodologies. It largely depends on the kind of topic you have and the discipline that you are in. Make sure you ask productive questions which will lead you to the conclusion that you want. Some productive questions could be such as, what kind of information are you looking for? Where do you need to look for your research? How much information do you need? How timely does your research need to be? These are some of the questions that you have to ask to yourself, which will help you organize your ideas and the information and the sources and integrate them correctly in your research. If one methodology is not enough or does not answer your research question, you can use more than one research methodology. When you use more than one methodology, for example, interview and case study, and add one more, depending on your research question, that is called triangulation. And it's very much used and acceptable in the research community. Please read my messages that I sent to you, and also the announcements. You have a discussion 1, and quiz 2 this week. They are due this week. Please, if you've not attempted discussion 1, go ahead and do it. You're still open. And the quiz is open until the end of today, until by midnight. So attempt quiz 2. And quiz 2 is drawn from the materials I posted to you in the past week, module 3 and module 4. Please read the materials posted in module 3 and module 4, and you should be ready for quiz 2. And quiz 2 is not very complicated. There are only 10 questions, and they're easy questions. They're all true and false. You should be able to do it within 5 minutes or even less than that. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best, and you have a wonderful week. And I'll keep posting my videos, next week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Do not hesitate to message me. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your time.